Francisco now. And Mario and I would concern ourselves with the major problem that we were going to have when the San Jose Sharks played the Boston Bruins for the Stanley Cup, or when the San Francisco Giants played the Red Sox. Well, here we are today celebrating Mario. You say this is a memorial, it's not. He's here. He's everywhere. Well, I do have to thank Catherine. I'm going to ask my son.
As we've all heard, Mario brings everybody into their family. He brought all of us into his family, brought all of us into theirs, and will continue to do so. And we all learn from Mario throughout our lives how to bring others into our own family the way that he lived with us. I would, throughout this whole week and a half, since I've had a few stories pop into my head. And the one that I've been telling my sisters is when I was in 3rd grade or so, I would say that I had 3 brothers and 3 sisters. We were all young. You didn't know the difference between siblings and loved ones. And it was one of those days in the cafeteria that knew that Kathy and Mario, Liz and Dave were coming to town. It was like Christmas, right? Because sisters and brothers from the East Coast were coming in. It was the best day ever. And they walk in, they come and pick me up, and I ran over to them, and I grabbed Kathy and Mario, turned around, bring them to some random teacher, and said, see, like the brother and sister. Now again, nobody knew that I had a half sisters. For one, that were 20 years older than me, so they're kind of looking at these parents. This 3rd grader, they're all tatted up and everything. And one of my other favorite stories that just kind of reminded me of who Mario was. This was after I went to BU, and afterwards I had graduated. Me and him went through Bruins game, as I'm sure he blessed most of you with Bruins stories, if not going to the game. And they were playing the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Crosby was in town. We were upper deck, maybe 3 rows back from the edge, great seats. And the whole row behind us was a family Penguins fan. We're getting into the game, as we always do. We got our Bruins stuff on, we're going after it. The family behind us, they had a 10-year-old son, who was dressed to the nines in Crosby gear. And before the end of the first period, Crosby scores. They go wild right behind us. They're chirping us from behind, in a playful way, in a good way. And we're kind of taking it, we're chirping back and forth a little bit. The second period comes. I can't remember exactly what happened. It was either Crosby got in a fight, or he got blown up in the boards, or he got kicked out of the game, but something happened. And me and Mario blow up. We're cheering, and we're turning around, and in the most mocking way, in the same exact way, Mario just turns around at this whole family. Ha ha! Crosby sucks. And he did it, and he turned, the last thing he does is he turns to the 10-year-old kid who's the biggest Crosby fan in the world. And this poor 10-year-old kid just didn't understand sarcasm. And when he pointed at him, the kid and just sat down, he started crying. He sat down, and Mario immediately felt like the biggest dirtbag. And to the point where Mario started crying, and I'm sitting next to him, what are we waiting to you got Mario, this big, huge dude, biggest Bruins fan in the whole world. We just made this little 10-year-old kid cry for his first hockey game ever. But the irony of that story is, he legitimately felt so bad. He's turning around apologizing just because it didn't matter what side you were on. It didn't matter if you were enemies. It didn't matter if you rooted for the wrong hockey team. He cared about people. And took him over was the fact that he did not want this 10-year-old kid to remember that and hate hockey, hate the Bruins, hate the massholes that we all can be. You know, he realized that this kid's a person, and you know, he wanted to provide the best experience possible. All right.
Words are so important, and you heard it from his dear friends. You heard all about music and art and sports, and he was an eclectic person, as one of you said. He created, like that little pebble in the pond, and those ripple effects. And that ripple effect has hit everyone in this room, including me. Where did he get it from? His parents. Everyone said that. And a number of years ago, Big Paul was telling me yesterday, and Catherine, I should call her Kathy, because nobody recognizes her. And it's a quote from C.S. Lewis, and it says, "Since it is so likely that children will meet cruel enemies, let them at least have heard of brave knights and heroic courage." He thanked his parents for that. He thanked them for his bravery and his heroism. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here.